Moving forward, power to win. We are local 1549, always fighting, never yielding. We are marching, local 1549. We are striving for member dignity. 1549, marching forward, strong and mighty in local 1549.
Throughout the mosaic that represents the long and vital history of labor, in fact, throughout the impressive history of this great country, there has been a common theme that has defined success and spurred growth. That theme is those who have learned to collaborate and improvise with one another on ideas and solutions are the champions of society. They are the thinkers and leaders who recognize that the way to move forward is to unite, to work as a team focused on the issues that matter. Moving forward is about realizing potential and making dreams reality. It's about standing as one, even when obstacles or others may stand in the way. Local 1549 members, shop stewards, and leaders know that to move forward and powered to win, they cannot stand still. This has been true throughout the union's history and will be true throughout the future. And that's what Local 1549 does, as a people, as a community, and as a union. Since Local 1549's first days in December of 1964, the union has stood as a community, committed to moving forward in the right direction. Local 1549 represents more than 18,000 clerical administrative employees who work and thrive in almost every city agency in New York. As a progressive union that sets a vibrant example for other unions across the country, 1549 protects the rights of every member while negotiating for improved salaries, benefits, and working conditions. Delivering the best possible representation to all members means moving forward together. Power to win towards the success of the next generation for a union that has meant so much to the city it serves and the members who comprise it. But every once in a while, an engine faces weather conditions that may stall it from driving forward. Such storms swirl in the air today. Labor is under attack. There's a war on the workers.
Education, it's a war on child labor protection, it's a war on the 8-hour day, it's a war on occupational health and safety, it's a war on Social Security. Now thanks to WTO, GATT, NAFTA, MAI, the IMF, and the World Bank, it's a worldwide war. Oh, it's a war on the workers. War on the workers. Yeah, it's a war on the workers. War on the workers. Oh, it's a war on the workers. And it's time, sisters and brothers, you know it's time right now. I said it's time we started calling the shots.
Unions such as Local 1549 face agenda-driven politicians and pundits who view organized labor as an angry talking point or a hot-button issue instead of what it really is. The faces and energy that make government and business work every day in an increasingly competitive marketplace. State and local governments continue to attack union wages and benefits at a time when the economy needs organized labor more than ever. The elite and rich who command this nation's wealth are a big part of the problem because they fail to invest in the people who made them rich in the first place. How did this crisis get to this point? Some would suggest it began during the fiscal chaos of 2008, thanks to the mismanagement of the Bush administration. Others would suggest that it had been building even longer than that. Go back to 1981, when President Ronald Reagan fired striking air traffic controllers, launching a 30-year onslaught on trade unions and workers' prerogatives. Since then, under successive administrations, labor laws were challenged.
I support Question 2 and Governor Kasich's effort to restrict collective bargaining in Ohio in the ways he's described. So I fully support that.
And we advance free market ideas without apology because they are better for all people.
But the real watershed moment erupted only too recently, in what has become the critical turning point against the rights of labor, born in the State House of Wisconsin. Somehow, the state that has passed the first collective bargaining laws in the country in 1959 has now become the champion for dismantling that right and trying to divide public union workers in the process.
Are elected officials or are bosses always going to have disagreements with unions? Of course. Are there going to be negotiations? Of course. Are there going to be disagreements? Yes, hopefully they won't be profound. But if you take away a union's right to collectively bargain, all you're doing is trying to kill the union. You're not tinkering, you are killing the union. That's what the attempt was in Wisconsin, to completely union bust, to erase unions, in my opinion, from the state of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's Governor Scott Walker opened a door for other states to follow in 2011 with his quest to derail the promise of pensions and health care to public workers, those very same people who made his state work through the services they provide.
Any chance we'll ever get to be a completely red state and work on these unions?
Oh, yeah.
And become a right to work?
Well, in fact, the big thing...
What can we do to help you?
Well, we're going to start in a couple weeks with our budget adjustment bill. The first step is we're going to deal with collective bargaining for all public employee unions.
Right.
Because you divide and conquer.
Once Governor Walker launched his campaign to undo collective bargaining for public employees, countless governors and mayors followed with different variations on the same economic recklessness. But the Walker movement isn't the only challenge labor faces.
One of the things is sourcing out our jobs. We're losing jobs. You see today, our young children today who finish college can't even find a job. We're losing jobs and contracting out. Millions and millions of billion dollars being used, wasted. That money could be used, really training for people, for young people, also collective bargaining.
Despite court orders against the contrary, civilianization still causes havoc for New York City, with non-clerical and uniformed personnel taking 1549 jobs at great cost to the people who live and work in this great city. And contracting out remains a battle that DC 37 and 1549 must continue to fight.
Well, we're fighting against privatization as corporate-backed politicians like Mayor Bloomberg try to privatize services best left in the hands of public service workers. We're fighting for retirement security as the same politicians take their cue from Governor Cuomo, who tried to destroy our pension system, a system we built. We're fighting for public jobs, the best answer to poverty in New York City. But more importantly, we're fighting for fairness. Our lives are tied up in a system that's too often rigged, too often one-sided, too often unfair to far too many people. It's up to us to fix this.
Another threat has also emerged: the outsourcing of union labor to overseas markets. As a result, China is challenging the United States' position in trade and commerce. The world's largest communist power holds this country's national debt in its pocket and takes U.S. jobs for its industries. This isn't just about the cost of labor. It's about the politics and the world standing of the United States. But it doesn't have to remain this way. As the world has seen in Greece, Spain, and some countries in the Middle East, nations of people have rioted against corrupt governments and endless broken promises. These governments tried to cripple their country's workforce and balance local budgets on the backs of low and middle-income people. As this Blame the People movement also broke out in the United States, Occupy protests emerged and moved forward in countless cities as a clear counter-argument, making loud statements that it's not right to punish people for the mistakes of elected officials and big business. That's why Local 1549 is charting a bold new horizon, letting the public know who the union is and what it does, showing how it impacts the city through the direct services provided to all New Yorkers.
We're the best people for the job. We already have this organized workforce. DC 37 is, I believe, the largest union in the country. And I think the best thing that the union can do is to continue to support the leadership that they're supporting now and can just keep going toe-to-toe with whoever's in charge to try to get them to understand that we're the right people for the job.
Goals are opportunities for people, men and women, to work, for city employees to be able to advance and gain more skills, and for the taxpayers of our great city to get the best result possible from the dedicated workers that make up our municipal labor force.
We have been the only obstacle in the course of a takeover, only obstacle, and we have to stand tall. We're passing the test in some ways, but I'm afraid that we're going to get lax. And you think that this is the same old story over and over again. It is not. It is our time to prove that we are one, and we have to move forward. We've got to get people elected, and we've got to do our part.
By moving forward, the future belongs to Local 1549. It's a future that will be engineered and led by the shop stewards who move and shape the union's destiny. The world is changing. No longer can unions just rely on the written word or past loyalties to protect members' dignity and their livelihood. It's time to power up and implement a bold plan that can stop these outside attacks on members and the union.
It is not enough for Local 1549 to be strong. We also have to work with others and build a labor movement. A strong DC 37 is an absolute must, just as a strong AFL-CIO and trade union movement, and reaching out to all of our allies that are having their services cut and are under attack. United we stand, divided we fall.
Local 1549 is on the forefront of that bold plan, fighting to keep what it has and gaining new ground through better contracts without any givebacks. Every Local 1549 shop steward is essential to how the union builds a future that matters for all. As shop stewards succeed, Local 1549 will equip them with the tools, communications, training, and technology that are needed in the fight to protect members' rights and power to win.
Well, in those days, what we had the flyers, of course. That was always when we would network from one to the other, and that's the way we got part of the communication, and also phone calls, calling each other, and we managed to get it around. You know, once you start with the gossipers and tell one gossiper, they lead it to the rest of the gossipers, and you got it made. So that was, and they considered me one of the gossipers, so you know I was going to get it around.
In today's digital, always connected world, technology is critical to how 1549 moves forward. Digital and mobile technology has become a leading tool in getting the union message out, thanks to its speed and accuracy, whether through the web, email, text messages, or a Twitter or Facebook post.
We communicate text messaging, emails, you know, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I mean, which that stuff wasn't out, you know, back in the days. It was more, you know, phone and writing letters. But I mean, we still use the phone and we still write letters, but that's basically our means of corresponding with people now.
I have cases now where people are going to lose their job for being on the social media all day and every day because they have access to it. It's not good. It's good when we can communicate with you guys over the social media whenever we need to gravitate you all for a rally or to let you know that there's a contract negotiation going on, for us to give you the message of the union. It's good for that.
To stay current and keep pace with city government, Local 1549 will embrace social media more than ever. Political action through technology is just one way the union will compete with the rest of the world. To gear up for the fight to win, continuing education will help shop stewards face today's labor challenges and ensure tomorrow's future. Local 1549 has a progressive strategy to deliver training and tools to empower shop stewards on the job.
Training is important because a well-trained shop steward is better able to take care of members' problems at the work site. And training is not about people just learning and doing nothing with it. Training is people taking what they've learned and applying it and using it.
We tell the stewards that they are the eyes and ears of the union in the workplace. And if they are to function effectively, they must be educated. They must know about their union contracts, union structure, resources and support services that are available to them, and even learn about the history of the labor movement.
Shop stewards will experience education that helps them organize union members and communicate important messages of change.
We engage the stewards in small group discussions where they could share their experiences. We do a lot of role plays, we do a lot of different case scenarios that they could analyze them. So training and education provide the opportunity for stewards to enhance what they already know, but also to build more skills that they need to be an effective steward.
We are moving to incorporate more technology, more online training in the shop steward training classes, and we will be building on that in the coming months.
All across the country, our shop stewards need to be trained so they know how to fight back, how to mobilize people, and work with the union as one united force.
Local 1549 shop stewards involve members, recruiting them to attend important rallies, meetings, workshops, and much more. They deliver vital information about key union issues that affect them and their families. And shop stewards serve as advocates for the public services provided to the citizens of New York City. As shop stewards do all this, they open the door for the next generation in the union's great history and the next wave of its leadership. Thanks to Local 1549 shop stewards, the future of leadership and activism is now.
Next Wave is a movement. Next Wave is a group of younger workers that are focused on getting educated, mobilized, and motivated to be the future leadership for tomorrow. We are giving them charge to take action because essentially within the next 10 years, over 50% of our labor leaders will be getting ready to retire. So it's up to Next Wave to step up to the plate to be the future generation of leadership.
Today is just the beginning, with that new wave of accomplishments and activism still to come. The way Local 1549 will face these ongoing issues will be how the union galvanizes the base of its membership ranks.
When members come together and share their combined knowledge and experience, this makes the union strong. Members come down to Local 1549 District Council 37 to network. That's why we have so many different committees and so many different events down here for the members to enjoy themselves.
As members unite, there's no stopping Local 1549 from moving forward, powered to win. Yes, this is about leadership. The leadership of the union's Shop Stewards as the force that helps Local 1549 and New York City move forward on a local, national, and global level. Here are the leaders working behind the scenes with Shop Stewards and the Local 1549 membership to create a better and more enriching experience.
Hi, I'm Eddie Rodriguez, the field president of Local 1549. I love to go in the field, especially meeting the members one-on-one.
I'm Alma Roper, the Executive Vice President of Local 1549. And as Executive Vice President, I focus on the committee activities and the events for the union membership.
Hi, I'm Ralph Palladino, Second Vice President, Local 1549. I am responsible for advocacy and political action and shop steward training.
I'm Alvin Williams, Third Vice President for Local 1549. I'm responsible for all communications and union activities for Local 1549.
Hi, Gerald Johnson, Secretary Treasurer. I'm the numbers guy. I focus on the union's fiscal, accountability, and responsibility.
Hi, I'm Carmen Flores, the Recording Secretary of Local 1549. I am responsible for keeping the records and the minutes of the delegates, executive board, and general membership meetings.
In an era of increasing challenges confronting labor, it will be the initiatives of Local 1549 Shop Stewards that will define the union's future generations and ultimately advocate better lives for all members and the communities they live in.
The union, they have to have a working relationship with management, but for the most part, I think they always put the members first.
These people are fighting for the rights that are for me. They fight for my justice. So that's what I appreciate for the union, because it's like they stand for the same thing I stand for, advocating for the people.
This is our time. It's our moment.
Local 1549 Shop Stewards are moving forward, powered to win.
Moving forward, power to win. We are Local 1549, always fighting, never yielding. We are marching, Local 1549. We are striving for member dignity. 1549, marching forward, strong and mighty in Local 1549.